Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Was Mother's Grandson Part 3. Last time we left off with Naruto actually fighting, duking off with the Hokage, since the Hokage actually did want to test how strong he truly is, and Naruto did show him that he is pretty strong. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto was actually Kakashi's student, not in Team 7. He was kind of a separate team with just Kakashi, so he was more like an apprentice to Kakashi. Anyways, Naruto considered himself as an apprentice, not a team member or anything. But anyways, he knows that his own student is in Team 7, and she is very strong. In fact, she is already nearing the highest ranks, Jonin, even though she truly is a Jonin rank. However, Naruto doesn't consider her as a Jonin rank because of her lack of experience. Naruto got a lot of experience just off of the Uchiha massacre, and since some did try to fight back, however, Naruto, even as an 8-year-old, was able to take them out easily. And also, over time, whenever he used to go back to the Akatsuki to meet up with them just for yearly checks, he did have to go through villages, mountains, everything. And of course, he left back a clone just to make sure that no one got suspicious. And anywho, now, of course, Team 7 would still have the bell test, but this time it wouldn't be with Kakashi. It would actually be with Obito, their team leader. Obito would actually become the team leader of Team 7, since there are two Uchihas in it. And the only reason Kakashi isn't is because Kakashi knows how to use the Sharingan. However, he's not truly an Uchiha, and it's better for an Uchiha to teach another Uchiha. And anyways, just like how Naruto taught Tsuki, of course now she's going to learn from Obito himself. Anyways, Obito is not he is much stronger than the original Obito as a 14-year-old, and now he's much stronger than the Obito from the when at the age that he was now. He's much stronger, especially because he's been training quite a bit with Kakashi. Of course, the Obito in the original had Hashirama cells and everything. However, this Obito knows how to use his Susanoo, and we haven't actually seen Obito use his Susanoo in the original, which kind of confuses me. However, he's actually able to use the Susanoo with just one eye, and usually Kakashi and Obito are mostly put together in missions, especially because they can actually since they have each other's ability, other half of the ability. Of course, they work very well together, and they can actually create a very deadly tag team, just like Killer B and A. It's Obito and Kakashi, same as Shisui and Itachi, not Uchiha. Shisui and Itachi, just like them lot. It's Kakashi and Obito now. Anywho, of course, after all of this, Team 7 actually does have their bell test the next morning, and Naruto does tell Tsuki to be careful and not to show too much power, especially because she needs to hide most of her power, since no one knows that she is as strong as Naruto as she is, and they don't need to know right now, especially because there's no need for them to know that your goal in life right now, especially because they'll actually try to make you leave that goal, leave that goal behind, because it's dangerous and everything. However, Tsuki already knew that, especially because she doesn't want to give up on her goal. She wants to know answers. She wants her answers. Like, she needs to know what happened to Shisui truly. Did he really kill himself, or did he get killed by someone? Who killed him? Was it Itachi? Because some people did say it was Itachi, and she did hear about it in the Uchiha clan. However, it's not really Itachi. Itachi was just with him and saw him die and couldn't really do anything because Shisui did kill himself. Like, what could Itachi do there? And anyways, now Naruto and Kakashi are actually watching the next morning. Team 7 actually fighting for the bells. Of course, they have to work together. Naruto was told this, and Naruto did realize this himself. He did say that he noticed already there's no way any of them can beat Obito on their own, except for Tsuki. However, Tsuki does not notice this. Even though she's smart and everything, she doesn't notice this until later on in the fight. Of course, she first actually tries on her own and actually puts up a pretty good fight against Obito out of all people. Even Kakashi was actually very impressed by Tsuki, and he asked Naruto if he knows anything about her. Naruto says yes, he knows quite a bit about her. They're pretty good friends. However, he's not going to say anything yet because, of course, Naruto doesn't want them to know, and Kakashi kinda wants to know and asks why he doesn't want to say, and Naruto says because it's none of your business, and you'll find out soon enough once Tsuki actually shows her true strength. And anyways, of course, Kakashi is very intrigued by what Naruto means by this. However, he just lets it go, and after this, they just keep watching Tsuki versus Obito, and Tsuki was giving Obito the fight of his life. Obito would have never thought that he'd be fighting against someone this strong, especially in the bell test. And anyways, of course, Tsuki realizes that she's using a bit too much strength, and so she slows down to actually make it seem more realistic, like she's getting tired really quickly, which makes it which allows them to see that she has some drawbacks. However, she wasn't even tired, she was just getting started. This was just a warm-up. This was the kind of warm-up Naruto and Tsuki would have, and then fight to the death until they just stopped right before death. And anyways, now Tsuki, of course, activates a 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Kakashi and Obito are completely baffled on how she has it, and they were actually very, very impressed. Of course, Tsuki then just uses it to blitz Obito and actually about to take a bell. However, Obito then becomes pretty much intangible, and he literally warped through Tsuki, and Tsuki was confused. However, Obito then turned off his intangibility quickly, and then says, I guess you missed, Tsuki. But then straight after that, Tsuki wasn't done. Tsuki knows not to get surprised in a fight, and she should have been expecting anything, and she was expecting anything because she doesn't know anything about them. And so from what she learned from Naruto, from what she experienced from Naruto, like Naruto got out things that she never even seen, she's never even heard of, and of course that did baffle her and everything. However, she had to continue fighting, and in the end she was actually blown away by Obito using a swirling fire blast, and it was basically, I'm calling a swirling fire blast, but it's not actually swirling fire blast. Just saying, if you guys didn't know, it's just something I call it. I don't know the actual name, that's why I am very sorry for that. However, it's not the name. And anyways, now Naruto and Kakashi were really surprised at how strong, well, Naruto wasn't, but he was more surprised on how strong Obito truly is. And that technique he used, it's something that he has himself, and he knows, and he wants to find out more about Obito, and he's happy. He's finally understood that there are people who are just as strong or even stronger than him. He already knows that there are people stronger than him. However, he is actually hopeful for the future, because Naruto knows that he's going to have to get a lot stronger to actually become the villain that every single shinobi in the world has to team up to beat him, and he has a long way to go. He's nowhere near that goal yet. He's not a Madara yet, that's for sure. Someone, like, even the Hokage could actually put a stop to Naruto. Of course, maybe using the Reaper Death Seal. However, that's only one ninja. And anyways, of course, Madara could be one-shotted too. However, really, do you really think Madara would get caught by that? No way. Madara knows a bit too much about every jutsu ever. But anyways, of course, Tsuki then realizes that this is completely impossible to do on her own, and so she actually goes to the other Uchiha and tells him that they need to work together, and he actually realizes that they do really need to work together. And then they find Sakura, and they actually go and team up. Of course, the plan actually worked, Tsuki being the decoy and the other two taking the bells, and in the end Sasuke actually joining the fight for him to take the bell afterwards with Sakura, while Tsuki takes on the rest. And in the end, of course, they do pass. Obito was holding back quite a bit, and anyways, of course, he had to use his Mangekyo ability because Tsuki was actually pushed him to that point. He didn't have to, but he didn't want to lose it that quickly, especially because he wanted them to learn that teamwork is really important. And anyways, Now, Team 7 of course passed as per normal, and they will continue their missions the next day. Well, they will start their first time mission the next day, and so they actually went home for now. And yeah, Team 7 actually arrived. Well, oh, of course, Naruto and Tsuki met up again to actually start training. However, something happened while they were actually going to training. They were actually followed by the old Team Minato, because they were actually suspicious of Naruto and Tsuki, because they actually both did the same exact thing as well, Tsuki not as suspicious, but Naruto definitely. And I don't know, where Tsuki showed a lot of power and suddenly just lost it. Like, what's going on there? Even though she only used it for a bit and she did get tired, of course they understood that she could get tired. However, getting tired like that quickly, like so suddenly, it's not that they're not suspicious about her getting tired. The suspicion of how suddenly it happened. She was at full strength, full stamina, and out of nowhere she fell back to like, oh shite, I ran for 70 hours, fam, what's going on? Like, bro, man can't move in that. You know what I mean? And anyways, of course, they were kind of suspicious of that. And that was their own mistake for being so bait. And anywho, now, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I just needed to get something. Sorry. And I'm not a good YouTuber. I'm not prepared for YouTube. Anyways, now, Team 7, of course, continues. Well, Naruto and Tsuki actually do arrive at the usual training ground, a hill on the outskirts of the Leaf Village. And anyways, they begin their training with light warm-ups, for example, a little bit of running around and that, and actually meditation. And at first, the three weren't too suspicious at all. What they didn't find anything suspicious up until Naruto and Tsuki actually do stop meditating. And Naruto, of course, tells Tsuki to asks Tsuki if she's ready to train, and of course she says yes. And they actually do their own thing at first. Of course, Naruto, knowing a lot more jutsu than Tsuki, he's actually just going to keep meditating, of course, thinking of all the different outcomes of his plan, while Tsuki was actually training, trying to master more techniques, and actually started to master the next technique that Naruto told her to master, the Rasengan. Of course, Tsuki could do it if she trained in it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't give it to her, and if I did, I'm sorry, but this is how she learns it. And I know I change a lot of things like this, and I'm kind of stupid for it, but anyways, now, I was born stupid. And anyways, now, Tsuki does continue training for the next hour or so, and it's actually 5 p.m, and the three were actually not too suspicious, just that Tsuki was doing something with balloons. And of course, Obito and Kakashi realized what this was. However, they just thought that maybe they stole a scroll to learn it, and it wouldn't be too bad if she did learn it. However, Naruto was actually able to do it, and like he was about to do it. However, he wasn't able to do it, and now they got confirmation that this was the Rasengan that Naruto tried to do. But since he failed it, they don't understand why Naruto wasn't like training with Tsuki on mastering it. However, after 2 hours, Tsuki then says that they should actually start their sparring, and Naruto says, "You're right, let's begin." And they both get into, well, they actually do go into their own little sides, since they're going to be fighting. They don't want to start from close range. And anyways, Tsuki opens her eyes to reveal the Sharingan. Remember, the Sharingan doesn't strain her as much as the Mangekyo, and she doesn't go blindfold using the normal Sharingan, and she heads towards Naruto. Of course, at first it seemed like she was just heading towards Naruto, literally at speeds that not many people could see. However, then she disappears from sight. Literally, it seemed like she was going for a head-on attack. However, it was just a plan to actually just separate, well, not separate, make a clone really fast and separate, going each side. And of course, as the clones start fighting Naruto was actually able to keep up with both the clones just by himself. And after this, as Naruto was about to take care of the clone, of course, Tsuki makes multiple other clones which actually start fighting Naruto. And Naruto sees that now it's starting to get dangerous, because Tsuki and Naruto do fight pretty much to the death, and Tsuki's not holding anything back. And anyways, Naruto was happy about this, and then he pushed away all the clones, including Tsuki, and the clones were pretty much dispersed. However, well, just because of Naruto using the pressure around him, the wind pressure, to actually repel them. And of course, Tsuki was actually expecting this. However, she wasn't expecting Naruto to do it this early. Usually Naruto likes to play around a bit more. However, Naruto, realizing that Tsuki is getting stronger, he can't play around as much as he used to, and so he needs to fight seriously. Otherwise, one day Tsuki will actually kill him accidentally. He doesn't activate the Sharingan. However, as they continue fighting with the Taijutsu fight, and then kunais, and then shurikens, Tsuki then begins with the first jutsu. They had a pretty good warm up, as in fighting warm up, for 10 minutes straight, and after this, Tsuki used a Majestic Destroyer Flame on Naruto. Of course, not even saying anything, just doing the Majestic Destroyer Flame. And of course, the three were actually confused on how Tsuki just did the jutsu without even doing any hand seals. Maybe she did them fast and didn't realize because they were too concentrated on the fight, or maybe she just didn't use them. They weren't sure. However, they were going to make sure to see if she was using any hand seals, because if she's able to use jutsu without any hand seals, that's massive, bro. That's big. Like, bro, that is massive in the ninja world. Anyways, Naruto, as he sees this coming, he actually pulls out his own Kekkei Genkai. Yes, Naruto has a Kekkei Genkai. Of course, I haven't revealed everything about Naruto yet, and Tsuki actually did know about this. Naruto then, out of thin air, he pulls out a sword, which was actually a wind blade. Of course, he pulls it out like a katana, and he does have the shape of a katana. However, it wasn't a wind blade. It was actually just a blade that looked transparent, and Naruto was basically holding wind. However, it was actually a soul sword, and don't ask what it is. It's actually because of the Reaper Death Seal. It wasn't actually a Kekkei Genkai that Naruto has. It's actually just because of the Reaper Death Seal. And remember, we don't know much about the Reaper Death Seal. There are many secrets that weren't revealed, because for all we know, the Reaper Death Seal could just give you a power that you don't know, and it doesn't really tell you everything. And anyways, so I'm going to say that Naruto got something off the Reaper Death Seal, and once the Reaper actually left, he actually left something in Naruto, and Naruto was able to use this. And anyway, now Naruto and of course Tsuki, well, Naruto of course was able to pretty much dispel the fire, not dispel it, but slice through it, and the slice was heading towards Tsuki. However, she pulls out a scroll and pulls out her own sword, katana basically, and she was able to cut through this. And Tsuki's like, so you finally brought out the soul sword again. And anyways, Tsuki of course then smiles and blitzes Naruto, and her sword actually is engulfed with bluish fire, and this is actually her ability. Well, not her ability, but anyways, I don't want to get too into it. And she was actually just engulfing her sword in very hot flames. And anyways, Tsuki's not only using hot flames, also she's using her own Kekkei Genkai. Of course, this Kekkei Genkai is her ice release basically. However, it's more like a power. And just saying, Tsuki's hair is white hair, and I'm just going to say leave me alone. I just like white hair. Yes, I don't ask. Anyways, now of course Naruto and Tsuki do have pretty much a contest of swordsmanship. Who's the better swordsman or swordswoman? And anyways, of course, Naruto does not come on top, same as Tsuki, because as they fight, Tsuki actually was about to use her Kekkei Genkai. However, Naruto does sense the three ninjas, and he's had enough. Once he actually sensed them now, and he realized that they were actually able to hide their presence pretty well. And Naruto realized that he needs to train even harder, because they were able to hide their presence. They could have even killed him if they knew that what Naruto was planning. And anyways, of course, Naruto realized this, and so he literally, as he put away his sword, he caught Tsuki's one with his hands, and he was actually able to use chakra on his hands so he didn't get cut. And he pulled Tsuki towards him, and then they disappeared. Tsuki asked what happened, And Naruto then said, "Listen, Tsuki, we were being seen, we were being spied on by Kakashi, Kakashi Sensei, Obito Sensei, and Rin." And anyways, of course, he was kind of confused on why, but at the same time, he could see a bit of a reason of them being a bit curious about them. Of course, Tsuki out of nowhere suddenly became tired, which was a bit bait. Even Naruto realized that, and Naruto did realize that he was about to use the Rasengan instinctively, and he stopped randomly. So it wasn't only Tsuki's fault, but also his fault, and so they actually stopped their training there and actually just went out just to have fun together. And in the end, of course, Naruto and Tsuki go their own way. However, well, as Naruto was going home, it was actually pretty dark by now. And as Naruto was going home, he got intercepted by the three. And of course, Kakashi had the Sharingan well, activated. Same as Obito. And Rin came out from behind. And they looked pretty scary. Of course, Naruto wasn't scared at all and asked what do they want. And of course, they asked, what kind of powers does he really have? Was he holding back against the Hokage? And of course, Naruto says, holding back? No. It's just that it's something I found out recently, so I wasn't sure if I should use it against the Hokage. And of course, Naruto does realize, well, of course, then he says, yeah, so how were you able to spot us? And then Naruto says that, oh no, it was just because I'm a sensory ninja, and even though my sensory abilities are not really good, I was able to feel a faint presence there, and so I got scared and ran away. And of course, then he said, well, once you actually left, you were looking at us straight in the eyes. It looked like you knew we were there, and you were pretty cautious about it too. You made sure to leave nothing behind and leave as fast as you spotted us. Anyways, Naruto then says, it must have just been a coincidence. I wasn't really trying to look at you guys. In fact, I didn't even spot you. I just sensed your presences, so I left. And also that thing, my sword thing, it's actually something that I learned recently, so I didn't want to use it since I didn't know if it would even be useful. And so in the end, I decided to just train with Tsuki. And then they asked Tsuki. She was fighting just as much, just with the same exact power and with the same exact, or maybe more stamina usage against you. And she wasn't tired after the first 5 minutes. What's going on here? How did she get so tired then? And then basically Naruto says, well, that's not something that I should know. Maybe she was just a bit sleepy then. Maybe it's because she slept late. I'm not sure. It's not my fault, and she must have been like maybe hungry. She might have missed dinner or something. I don't know. And basically, Naruto's making up excuses, and of course, these excuses were actually answering their questions pretty well. And so, at first, they were about to, leave at that. However, then they asked, "Wait, you were able to slice through the." Well, then Kakashi, Obito was actually about to let it slide, same as Rin. However, Kakashi was a bit more suspicious, and he said, hold up, you were able to slice through that strange techniques Tsuki used. It was a pretty strong fire jutsu, which I don't know myself, and she was able to use it without any hand seals. And Naruto then actually looks at Kakashi right in the eye and says, oh, so you noticed that too. And Kakashi says, you seem to wield that sword like you knew how to use it. There is something fishy about this, Naruto. And Naruto says, not really, I just study a lot of books and I've seen a lot of samurai, well, I've read a lot about samurai techniques, and I've just been practicing. And of course, Kakashi can understand that Naruto could just get better by practicing. However, getting to that level, he's seen samurais, he's seen, well, the samurai country, Naruto, those samurais, he's seen them fight, and of course, he knows that it's not as easy to learn something like that. And also, he was able to slash through the air and have literally something coming at Tsuki. It wasn't just like wind just blowing away the fire. It was literally a transparent and physical attack. However, Naruto then just played it off as maybe it's just because he used some wind release and added some chakra together with the slice, and yeah, that's what happened. And that's the first time of him using it. He was very impressed himself, and Tsuki's much stronger than him anyway. And anyways, of course, Kakashi then says enough interrogations. I'm getting tired. He has too many excuses. We'll see about this later, Naruto, after all. If you are going to be my assistant, we will be doing other missions, and you will have to show more of your strength. I'm not saying that you're lying, I'm just a bit suspicious since you did try to use the Rasengan. And how did Tsuki get the Rasengan? Naruto then says, well, you see, basically, remember when the scroll was stolen by me? I actually took some scroll jutsus, even though I gave it back, and Tsuki was learning them, I actually gave up because I couldn't learn them. So, yeah, I'm sorry. And of course, Naruto apologized for it, and then he asked for the scrolls that basically he wrote down on, and Naruto pulled them out. Of course, the scrolls were actually the same exact ones. However, Naruto made copies of them prior to this, just in case. Naruto was actually a bit of a, well, he was cautious. That's what all I'm going to say. He planned ahead of time. Naruto was, it's like a chess game for Naruto. Naruto is already one move away from the checkmate, while of course the other player is actually making his first move. And don't ask why I made the chess references, because I love chess myself. I used to play a lot, and I still do to this day. However, I'm not as good as I used to. No, I'm not in my prime. It's been 4 years. Jesus, I'm no longer in my prime. It's kind of sad to think about it. I used to be so good. No offense, like, I'm not trying to boast or anything, but in my opinion, I was decent, not too good, decent. There were people better than me, of course, even in my class. And anyways, we move. I think Hamza. Yeah. Anyways, now, Naruto and Team 7, of course, do meet up the next morning, and the Kakashi actually does apologize to for making, well, for putting Naruto on the spot, and Naruto says it's no problem, and Tsuki does know about this. She was told about this on the same night Naruto actually went to her home after midnight, because she doesn't sleep that early. And anyways, she actually continues training with her sword outside her home. And anyways, now, of course, Team 7 do their first ever mission, and together they were actually able to finish it. And Tsuki was actually starting to talk to other people a lot more now, especially because in the last few years of their training, the last two, Naruto did tell her to make new friends other than him. And of course, Tsuki then says that she'll only do if Naruto did, and Naruto actually did make a few friends. He was actually friends with Shino, Shikamaru, and Choji. However, he only had a few friends, and also Kiba. Just saying, Kiba will always be his friend as well. Not all the times, but anyways. Of course, Naruto made a few friends, but not too many, because he wasn't really the most liked in the academy. He was very secretive, but he just fit how Shikamaru and Shino were. Shino was a bit less secretive, however, he was surrounded in mystery, while Shikamaru just finds everything a drag. And how Naruto was so simple and not too much to learn, it was just perfect fit for him. Choji just is friends with anyone. Kiba actually, he just pisses off Naruto. However, Naruto never responds, and he just doesn't give up. Anyways, now, of course, Tsuki actually reconnected with her old friends, Ino, Sakura, Hinata, and the rest, the drill. Anyways, now, Naruto, of course, as I said before, he will always be friends with Shikamaru and Choji, because those two are some of my favorite characters in Naruto. And anywho, now, it's probably, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's probably like Obito first, then is someone like Kakashi or someone. Yeah, you'd think that my favorite character would be Naruto, since I make him overpowered in every wave, but no, he's not. He's one of my favorites, and in Boruto is probably like adult Sasuke, Mizuki. No, of course, Hokage Naruto is actually my favorite character there. And anyways, I just like him. I just like how he looks. It's not as good as the Naruto the Last, because he's like more wrinkly, and he's stupid kinda, because he can instead of sending clones to his home, why not leave the clones at work? Like, what's going on here? Like, why? Like, that just pisses me off. But anyway, we don't want to talk about how I used to enjoy Boruto. And anyways, I still do. I read the manga. I just don't enjoy the anime anymore. I dropped it. And anyway, now I will enjoy it once the the things in the manga thing and that get animated. You know what I mean? You know, poos, you're in it. I'm joking, but anyways, what's wrong with you? I just love that word. Like, what's going on? Anyways, poo. And anyways, of course, Naruto and Tsuki do continue their training. However, they actually change locations, and Naruto actually takes us somewhere else outside the village by actually leaving clones in the village and faking that they go home, of course, with the clones. And Kakashi, Obito, and Rin do actually play off this time. Maybe they've decided to take a few days off. And anywho, Naruto and Tsuki actually train outside the village, somewhere where Naruto knows it's a pretty peaceful field, and Naruto and Tsuki could go all out there without anyone actually coming here, because it's actually pretty far away. Not too far away, but it's in the not anyway. We move. It's been a month. Naruto and Tsuki keep training, and Naruto actually finally of course makes a breakthrough with the Rasengan, actually adding a chakra ninja to it. Of course, not chakra transformation yet, however he adds wind release to it, and it becomes very strong. However, it's very destructive at the same time, so he realizes that he needs to add something to it, chakra transformation, which he knows how to do. However, he still hasn't mastered the chakra transformation Rasengan yet, and so he's just going to wait out, especially because now Team 7 on this day were bored of their mission. Even Tsuki was bored of them, and she did ask if they could get a C rank mission for the first time, and the Hokage actually accepted and said, alright, you can have your first ever C rank mission. And Tazuna walks in, knowing, of course, the Hokage knowing how strong Team 7 is, and especially because Kakashi will accompany them with Naruto, he is more than confident that they will be able to do this. Anyways, of course, they go on the mission the next day. And Tazuna actually doesn't make any jokes because Tsuki looks very serious. Sasuke always looks serious. Sakura, of course, a bit happy, while Naruto was the one who scared him the most. For a normal person to see someone like Naruto really gave an eerie vibe to him. Naruto then looked at him and actually tried to smile. However, he's not really good at smiling at others. Of course, I'm joking. He is good at smiling. However, it's just that Tazuna gets that eerie vibe from him. And Naruto, of course, says, do you have a problem with me, with a smile on his face? And of course, Tazuna says, yes, I really do. And of course, he's drunk and everything. And he says, hey, this one, can we not bring him with us? And of course, the Hokage says, unfortunately, he's one of the most reliable here. So if you would like a different team, we can set up and we'll give them a different mission. And then he says, no, 2 Jonins, I'll take that any day. And anyways, of course, Obito and Kakashi just laugh it off, of course, giving themselves a nice smile. And Naruto actually realizing that he needs to change his personality, well, how his aura, what aura he gives off, because he's scaring people, and this could actually affect his plans. And Naruto is changing over time. He's becoming like a better human, but at the same time, his plan never really changes. And this year, he does have to meet up with the Akatsuki, and and this year, the Akatsuki does find out that Naruto, the Nanto's Jinchuriki, was always part of the Akatsuki, and he was never really, he was actually Mother's grandson, and he would be the final sacrifice. Of course, they would find out, they wouldn't find out yet. They would find out later on in the story. This year is when Naruto actually meets Itachi for the first time, and they would actually fight. Just saying this because in the future he will actually meet them, just like in the original. But anyways, of course, Naruto and Team 7 do go on their mission, and not Naruto and Team 7. Team 7, including Naruto and Kakashi, do go on the mission the next day, and Team 7, all of Team 7 except for Sakura, notice the puddle, and as soon as the 2 demon brothers appear, Sasuke takes them on, of course, taking the spotlight just like per normal, and of course they continue to actually find Zabuza. Obito actually would find it very easy to fight Zabuza, and Kakashi would actually join him. And this is where the story really changes. Both Obito and Kakashi were about to take Zabuza on to actually take him down. However, then Naruto suggested this different idea. Kakashi knew that Tsuki was something different, and said, how about you let Team 7 handle this? After all, you've been training them in teamwork. I'm pretty sure they could take a Jonin down. And of course, Obito says, no, I cannot endanger them. And Naruto then says, then why were you interrogating me the other night? Weren't you suspicious that we were hiding something? Maybe this fight will show you that me and Tsuki hide nothing from you guys, and maybe you'll understand not to do that again. And I know you've been following us around whenever we go home. Do you think I don't notice you? And anyways, I think this is the perfect opportunity. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying to let them go die. As long as you guys are there, you can save them last second, right? And anyways, Kakashi and Obito do think this over, and yes, they actually allow it. And Team 7 do have to fight Zabuza, and Zabuza actually was just amused at this point. He's like, you're really going to let these kids get killed? And of course, the two look at each other and they do give a second thought. However, Naruto then says, well, if you don't do that, you'll never know, if you'll never get your answers, you know that, right? And of course, Naruto's actually being the wingman here, especially because Tsuki was actually getting bored at this point. He knew that, and of course, they fought pretty much every day, but she really needs experience, and this is all thanks because of Naruto wanting her to become stronger. And if he had to be killed by anyone, he would rather have Tsuki kill him than anyone else. But however, Tsuki, he's not going to just allow her to win. Of course, they need to realize that they need to work together and get stronger. A villain won't allow them just to kill him. A villain wouldn't just allow himself to lose or herself to lose. But anyways, of course, Naruto still wants them to try against him. Of course, once he realizes that if they're too weak, he will just give them some hope by letting himself get attacked by something that could actually injure him quite a bit. And anyways, now I'm not going to say too much about the future anymore. And now Team 7 actually does fight Zabuza in a pretty coordinated way. Sakura actually running around him every few seconds to actually confuse him and try to slice her down first. However, then Tsuki coming in with her own katana to actually block Zabuza, and using her Kekkei Genkai, yes, here, sorry, not Kekkei Genkai, using her fire release to actually scorch Zabuza every time he tries to attack her or Sasuke. And Sasuke always coming and sneak attacking, well, not sneak attacking, coming from a blind spot to actually use kunais and any type of weaponry or weapons to cut Zabuza down and like literally cut him down. And anyways, of course, this starts working. However, then Zabuza lets everything out, all his bloodlust, which actually scares Tsuki quite a bit too. And Naruto realizes that he'll have to step in. However, then the two friends come in with an uppercut to Zabuza. Zabuza doesn't even see this coming and gets blown back. And of course, Kakashi and Obito do a double fireball jutsu, and of course this was about to pretty much end Zabuza. And just saying, but Obito has 4 chakra natures, by the way. He has wind, water, lightning, and fire. He's basically has pretty much wind, water, lightning, and fire. And I'm giving him 4 chakra natures because of how the story is going to be. And anyways, of course, in the original, I'm pretty sure he had. Wait, let me check. Why did I even have to search that up? I'm so stupid because the Rinnegan gives the user all 5 chakra natures in the first place, and I'm pretty sure we've seen Toby use every single 5 chakra or every single chakra nature. Even from games, he was able to use water, wind, fire, really, and lightning, and even earth. But anyways, now, of course, he can use all 4 here. He doesn't have the Rinnegan here, but he can use 4 of them: wind, water, lightning, and fire. Anywho, of course, double fireball jutsu was heading towards them. However, Zabuza, however, he was saved by Haku, and then Haku escaped with Zabuza's body. Of course, Zabuza still being alive. They were going to chase them down. However, they can't leave his team behind. The kids behind, because if they do, they don't know if there are other people who are actually after them. And anywho, of course, Naruto and Team 7 actually do go to Tazuna's place to actually rest for a week, to actually wait it out to see what happens to Zabuza. If he shows his face, and in a week they will go, and they want to train Team 7 a bit, since they haven't been training them too much. Obito did want to, however, he spent his time spying on, of course, Naruto and Tsuki, and they realized that they were wrong in the first place. Even Kakashi's doubts were gone at this point, and Naruto said, I told you, we were just training a bit, and I didn't hold back. I just didn't want to use it since I didn't know how to use it. properly, and I've just been practicing. And anyways, of course, Kakashi says apologizes and tells Naruto that he won't do it again. And anyways, Naruto says it's fine. And anywho, now Naruto and Team 7 actually does learn tree walking, which Tsuki actually has to fake that she doesn't know it, while Naruto already knows it since he was actually able to use a few chakra natures as shown in the as they found out. But anyways, of course, now Team 7 in a week's time, Naruto still meets Haku because he was actually just resting and meditating quite a bit, and in the end meeting Haku, of course, Haku giving the speech, and Naruto says that he has many loved ones and he becomes stronger just for them. And what he means by loved ones, he loves the whole entire world. He wants to he'd give his own life for the world. And anyways, of course, now Haku leaves, and the next morning Naruto does wake up, and he has a strange feeling. So, of course, Naruto actually says that he'll come and he'll come and catch up with them. He just wants to do something before that, and he heads off into the forest, which Kakashi wasn't too worried at first because the forest wasn't too dangerous. However, Naruto was actually just spying on the house, and as soon as he heard Inari's and his mother scream, he actually came in out of nowhere and said, "I knew it." I had this strange feeling. Of course, Naruto then says, "Inari, cover your eyes," and of course, Inari's mother does it for him. And after this, Naruto actually pretty much kills them, and Naruto actually takes Inari and his mother to the town that they went with Tazuna, and in the end they were actually safe there. Naruto left a few clones just in case, and then headed off. Naruto using the flying Raijin, he hasn't mastered it fully. He hasn't mastered it fully. He's close to mastering it, and he actually uses it to actually appear out of nowhere. And of course, at first, Kakashi and Obito were like, "What was that?" And was it the flying Raijin? But then Naruto's like, "What? The body flicker? What's going on?" And anyways, he sees that Zabuza actually has ice release, and Tsuki was actually fighting him with Sasuke and Sakura, and he saw that Sakura was actually getting stronger as well, and he was actually happy that even Sakura is getting stronger. And anyways, Sasuke unlocking his 2-to-1 Sharingan here, he was able to pretty much break through one of the ice mirrors, being much stronger here. I haven't really covered much about Sasuke, however, he's been training quite a bit. And anywho, now Tsuki, of course, was able to help Sasuke win the fight against Haku, and in the end, they were able to break off his mask, and Naruto says, "Wait, don't kill him yet." Naruto then asks why, and Haku explains everything, and then they hear the sound of 1,000 birds, and Haku gets in the way, and just saying it was a double version now, and Haku, of course, in the end, gets pretty much killed nearly instantly. Naruto sees this, and of course, he has some healing abilities, however, the wound is too it was fatal. He wasn't able to do anything. He's not Tsunade. He's not Tsunade yet. I say yet because he will get stronger, and much stronger. I mean, Naruto was very pissed off. However, he can't really get pissed off at his own teammates, but he was pissed off at himself. Anyway, Naruto was pissed off at himself because he let one of his friends die, and he tried healing him, showing a bit of healing powers, and of course Haku said, "No, Naruto, stop it. There's no point. I'm too far gone." And of course Naruto says, "Don't talk. You." And after this, Haku says, "Thank you, Zabuza. Thank you, Naruto, for being my first ever friend." Of course, he considers Zabuza as like a father figure, and this actually kind of broke something in Zabuza as well. Naruto was very, very angry at himself for letting this happen. However, once Zabuza actually, with a broken heart, says that he was just a tool, and of course, this doesn't piss off Naruto at all. Naruto can see that Zabuza is trying to hide it, and Naruto says, "There's no need to hide it. I can tell your voice is broken, your heart is broken, your whole soul is gone. You really loved the Haku. He was just like a child to you, wasn't he? I know you're hurt, and so am I. However, there's no need to lie about it. Everyone cries once in a while. How about you show some compassion and maybe shed some tears for your fallen son?" And of course, Zabuza at this point breaks down. However, then Gato's men appear, and this is where Naruto's breaking point was. This is where something snaps into Naruto. Naruto is finally understanding what his grandfather was saying. The world is full of winners and losers. There is no coexistence between them. And the quote from from Madara, which I'll try putting in here. Well, actually, I don't think I can. I might get copyright strike, but I'll pretty much say he basically Madara told him to wake up to reality. The longer that Naruto lives in this world, he will understand that this world is pain, suffering, and futility. But anyways, futility. Anyways, Naruto understands that this may be something that is true right now. However, this just this just goes on to hit Naruto even harder, and realizes that Naruto realizes that he needs to try harder. He's been slacking to what he's meant to be doing. Of course, Naruto and Zabuza were pissed off, and Naruto actually let out pretty much. He didn't really say anything, like just him not saying anything, while Zabuza was giving his final battle cry. Of course, heading towards the fight, Naruto said nothing. He just stood there. However, his aura was dark, and this is the eerie aura that Tazuna felt. And Tazuna is like, there it is again, that aura again. It's the same that I saw. It's weird, but it's scary. And this time, everyone can feel it. Everyone felt it. Even Zabuza felt it. However, the anger and sorrow and pain that he felt from losing Haku, and this now, how Gato, of course, explained that he wasn't even going to pay them. He just wanted them dead. Of course, this was just in like Zabuza couldn't really feel anything at this point. Naruto then actually opened his eyes to reveal. Well, he doesn't reveal anything. However, he his eyes are pretty much blank. There is no blue. There is no red. There is just a dull shade of blue. Like, you know, basically, Naruto's about to go crazy. You know that scene where the character just opens his eyes and he's emotionless. Naruto then says it's over, and as he says that, Naruto blitzes past every single one of Gato's men and goes towards him. Of course, Zabuza suffered his injuries, and he actually was about to slice off Gato's head, and he was actually able to slice half his body off. However, Naruto then says, "This wouldn't be enough. Now you shall feel pain and suffering, just like we did." And of course, now Naruto puts him in a genjutsu, and this genjutsu lasted for a long while. It's basically the Tsukiyomi. However, Naruto does not have the Tsukiyomi. Naruto has unlocked something different, and this is completely different. Naruto has unlocked his genjutsu is so strong that it can even be not considered next equals to the Tsukiyomi or the Kotomatsukami. However, it's up there with them. It's one of the strongest genjutsu that Naruto has ever done, and it showed Gato pretty much all the things that he's done in his life, and then it basically showed Naruto tortured Gato for the next 10 seconds, and that 10 seconds was pretty much I'm pretty sure 1 second. There were 3 seconds in the real world were 3 days. However, 10 seconds in the real world for Naruto's genjutsu was around a full day not a full day, half a day. And Gato was tortured for half a day, but more brutally than just getting stabbed multiple times just over and over again. Naruto was slicing and dicing, and every time Gato died in the vision, he just woke up again to see Naruto ready again to just slice him up again into pieces, and then over and over again for 12 hours straight. And as soon as Gato was let out of it, Gato just let out a broken voice like and literally just died on the spot. Naruto made Gato feel pain beyond imagination, and after that, of course, Naruto walked back towards Zabuza. Zabuza, of course, was pretty much on the floor. Naruto helped him up and brought him next to Haku, and they did bury both of them. Zabuza actually thanking Naruto for understanding his pain and helping him get through it. And Naruto says, "It's fine. You are a great warrior. You deserve this." Anyways, of course, Naruto realized that his goals in life are something that need to be accomplished. Otherwise, this world will keep going like this, and other people, not just him, but other people who don't deserve it, will suffer through all this, and Naruto does not want this. Anyways, Naruto and Naruto and Team 7 do return to the village, and Tsuki sees that Naruto has changed. She does try to approach Naruto, however Naruto is unapproachable right now. Even Obito and Kakashi literally held her shoulder saying, no, Tsuki, Naruto is unapproachable right now. And anyways, Naruto did very well in controlling the Nine Tails. However, his seal was weakened either way. Naruto was very angry, and the Nine Tails could see that Naruto was not angry at anyone, not even Gato. He was mostly angry at himself for letting it happen in the first place. He wasn't there for, of course, Zabuza and Haku, and of course the Nine Tails can see that Naruto's blaming himself. Even the Nine Tails talks to Naruto saying that, hey kid, maybe you shouldn't blame yourself. It's not your fault. Everyone makes mistakes, and that mistake was theirs. The people who died that day, it was because of their own mistakes, none of yours. And Naruto says, shut up, you damn fox. It's no one's fault other than mine. I could have changed the outcome of that fight, and I could have changed it for the better, not for that outcome. If I had another chance, if only there was another chance, I'd do everything again. I'd do my best to save them, and this time I wouldn't allow them to die. However, this will never happen again. Not again. Not until I die. And after I die, I'm pretty sure everything should be fine, as long as people don't go back to their own old ways, until someone else like me is born, and someone else who is living in the world that I am living in will have the same exact ideals as me and change this world. Of course, the Nine Tails was pretty much put back down to his place. Like, damn, chill. Like, what's going on, my G? You gotta calm down, fam. Like, calm down, calm the fuck down. Of course, a few days later, Team 7 does find out about the Chunin exams from Obito. It wasn't like a week later, it was around like 2-3. They got arrested after all. They did witness a pretty gruesome scene. Gato's men getting slaughtered by both Zabuza and then Naruto actually pretty much crushing Gato's skull. That was pretty intense. Anyone would have been scarred for life. Like, anyone in this day and age, not really in Obito's generation, because they went through war. Anyways, we move, and anywho, now Naruto actually finally started talking to Tsuki again, and they started training again. And Naruto said, "Are you keeping up with your academics, written exams, everything?" And of course, Naruto is more. He's less emotional, and Kakashi, his mentor has been keeping an eye on him, and he's seen that Naruto is changed quite a bit. And anyways, Naruto, of course, talks to Kakashi about it. Kakashi is like a counselor at this point. Kakashi tells him that it's fine, nothing could have been done for them, and even if they could have done something for them, it would have been too late for Haku. Well, even if they could have done something for Zabuza, it would be too late for Haku. And after Haku died, Zabuza really had no purpose anymore. He didn't want to live, and he'd rather die next to his friend than actually continue living in a world of him being alone, going through pain on his own. And anyways, of course, Naruto understands and just stands up and says, one day I will stop this world full of hatred. I'll take all the hatred with me to my grave. And of course, this kind of gave the chills to Kakashi, because he's never heard anyone say those kind of words. For some reason, those words really scared Kakashi. However, Kakashi played them off. He thought it was just cold on that night and didn't really think too much of it. However, in the future, those words will come back to haunt him. Not to necessarily haunt him. However, they will come back to him, and Kakashi will find revelation with those words. Anyways, with the words Naruto gave him his last declaration of war towards hatred. Naruto is declaring war towards the cycle of hatred, and he wants the cycle of hatred to be abolished. Anyways, of course, 2 weeks later, the Chunin exams do begin, and Naruto is actually appointed as one of the an assistant to Anko on that day, to actually be a proctor, not a proctor, but more like a security guard. Not a guard, but at the same time, he would be in the forest checking up on the teams stealthily, because he knows how to use stealth ninjutsu and everything. And anywho, now Naruto accepts it, and that is where I'm gonna end part 3 2. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be like around the 5-part series, and the next 2 parts will be around like 30 minutes one, and the next an hour or an hour and a half, or maybe 2 hours, like 1 hour each part, depending on how fast I cover things. However, this wife, I do want to make it the best ever wife. I do the most like meaningful one, and anyways, that's what I'm gonna end off. Hope you enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe. This was King Go User. Don't forget to subscribe to Retreat, Minimum on the tree. Also, the my friend Hxmesh, and don't forget to subscribe to my second channel, DB Lover. I have made a video finally. I uploaded it. It's doing alright. It's actually doing much better than what I actually initially thought. I thought it was gonna get like 20, 30 views. However, you actually got 140 views, which was actually very impressive in my opinion. And do remember getting those type of views like not at the beginning of my on this channel. Like at the beginning of this channel, I used to get like 20, 30 views, and then just skyrocketed one day. But it's probably mostly because everyone was bored of Corona in April, and I can see why. And now that Corona is about to be over, my channel is probably gonna die out, and I'm just gonna be making voice for the people who still watch me. Anyways, what's going on? Oh yeah, today if you heard that those were people actually hanging out with their friends, because lockdown restrictions are actually well eased because of today, and I think 6 people together were able to go out, and I think a household of 2 families, and no, 2 households together. Bro, today I saw so many people in the park, so many nice girls too. Like, bro, women are amazing, fam. I love women, no cap. I saw one so beautiful. But anyways, I don't want to get into my own perverted life. But anyways, now we move. Don't forget to follow Shokiro on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and join the Discord server. Links are in the description below. And also, don't forget to get your good quality anime merch for beautifully low. You get 10% off on your next $99 plus order with the code MEMES, MEMES, and 5% off on your next $49 plus order. Do the code MEME, MEME. And last thing but not least, get your good quality lamps from lampt.com, and you can use the code lampt the king of weebs, and L is capital in lampt, L capital L AMPTEE, and dash the king of weebs, capital everything except for the O and F, just like how you write it on YouTube. And anyways, my ducklings, you're dismissed. This was the king of weebs, and stay safe, take care, peace. Also, if you got to this part, you know, at the end of the video, if you watched up to here, and I will check the comments, hashtag women are amazing, and if you write that, you might get a shout out. You never know. Anyways, peace.